If you think the current high-resolution market leaders are the absolute peak of imaging technology, you are about to have your world completely flipped upside down. For years, cameras like the Sony A7R IV and the Sony A7R V have defined what it means to shoot ultra-detailed full-frame images. 61 megapixels felt excessive when it first arrived. It felt like the ceiling. But according to persistent supply chain whispers and semiconductor leaks, Sony is not interested in ceilings anymore. They are interested in erasing entire categories. The rumors suggest that Sony isn't simply refreshing the R line with incremental upgrades. They are preparing a camera so ambitious that it directly challenges medium format systems and potentially renders them irrelevant for most professionals. The name floating around is the Sony A7R VI, and if even half of the leaks are accurate, this could be the most disruptive high-resolution camera ever built. Let's get straight to the core of this machine, the sensor. For 2 generations, Sony relied on that excellent 61-megapixel back-illuminated CMOS sensor. It delivered extraordinary detail, strong dynamic range, and respectable ISO performance. But in technology, standing still is the fastest way to fall behind. The loudest and most consistent rumor points to a jump that feels almost absurd at first glance: 107 megapixels, not 80, not 90. A staggering 100-plus megapixels in a full-frame body. This number is not random speculation. Sony's semiconductor division reportedly showcased a 180-megapixel medium-format sensor design. If you scale that pixel density down to a 35 full-frame footprint, you land right around 107 megapixels. That alignment is too precise to ignore. This move is more than a specification upgrade. It is a strategic strike aimed directly at medium-format systems like the Fujifilm GFX 100II. For years, photographers chasing extreme detail migrated to larger sensors. Medium format meant more resolution, smoother tonal transitions, and unparalleled file flexibility. But if Sony delivers 107 megapixels in a compact full-frame body with modern autofocus and speed, the size and cost advantages of medium format begin to crumble. Suddenly, you get medium format resolution without medium format bulk, without medium format autofocus compromises, and potentially without medium format pricing. Of course, the immediate pushback is obvious. Who actually needs 100 megapixels? The files will be enormous. Workflows will slow down. Storage costs will skyrocket. And traditionally, cramming more pixels onto the same surface area reduces pixel pitch, meaning each pixel gathers less light, which can introduce noise at higher ISOs. This is the classic trade-off in sensor design. More detail often comes at the expense of low-light performance. But this is where the second major leak changes everything. The A7R VI is rumored to adopt a partially stacked CMOS architecture. To understand why this matters, you have to look at the extremes within Sony's lineup. The Sony A1 uses a fully stacked sensor design, placing memory directly behind the pixel layer for blisteringly fast readout speeds. That speed enables minimal rolling shutter and blackout-free shooting. On the other hand, the A7R V uses a conventional back-illuminated sensor that prioritizes image quality but reads data more slowly. A partially stacked design sits in between. It integrates high-speed circuitry to dramatically accelerate data readout without the full manufacturing cost of a flagship stacked sensor. Why is that critical? Rolling shutter. Anyone who has used high-resolution Sony bodies in electronic shutter mode has seen vertical lines bend during fast pans. The so-called Jello effect can ruin video footage and distort moving subjects in stills. If a 107-megapixel sensor reads out slowly, rolling shutter would be catastrophic. But a partially stacked design could allow that massive sensor to dump data fast enough to maintain straight lines, preserve motion integrity, and even approach blackout-free performance. If Sony achieves that, the A7R VI stops being just a landscape or studio camera. It becomes a legitimate option for wildlife and sports shooters who crave extreme cropping power. And that cropping power is transformative. With 107 megapixels, you could capture a wide environmental frame, then crop in by 50% and still retain resolution comparable to older 40 or 50 megapixel bodies. For bird photographers, this is revolutionary. You no longer need to frame perfectly tight in camera. You can shoot wider to ensure subject tracking accuracy, then refine composition later without sacrificing detail. It effectively builds a digital teleconverter into the sensor itself. The flexibility in post-production would be unmatched in the full-frame world. But hardware alone does not define a modern camera. The brain inside matters just as much. The A7R V introduced a dedicated AI processing unit that shifted autofocus from simple eye detection to full human pose estimation. The camera identifies limbs, torso orientation, and subject posture. If someone turns away, the system predicts where the eye will reappear. For the A7R VI, expectations center around a second-generation AI chip paired with an upgraded BIONZ XR processor. The speculation suggests improved intent prediction. Instead of merely tracking movement, the camera could analyze body language and anticipate action before it happens. Imagine photographing a basketball player mid-drive. The AI recognizes the stance of a jump and subtly shifts focus upward before the leap even occurs. That kind of predictive intelligence is not just convenience. With razor-thin depth of field at 100 megapixels, it becomes essential. Video performance is another area where the R line has historically faced criticism. While the A7R V introduced 8K recording, it came with limitations, including crop factors and noticeable rolling shutter. If the partially stacked sensor dramatically improves readout speed, uncropped 8K at 30 frames per second becomes plausible. There is even speculation about 8K 60p with a manageable crop. That would place the A7R VI in hybrid territory, competing not just with high-resolution stills cameras, but with serious video machines. One of the most requested features among hybrid creators is open gate recording, which uses the full sensor height. Brands like Panasonic and Fujifilm have embraced this, enabling creators to capture one clip and crop for vertical and horizontal platforms simultaneously. Sony has resisted this trend, but pressure continues to mount. If the A7R VI introduces open gate recording at ultra-high resolution, content creators gain unprecedented flexibility. You could zoom and reframe within a single 8K timeline and still output pristine 4K. That level of freedom redefines what one camera can accomplish. Heat management becomes a critical engineering challenge at this level. High-resolution sensors generate significant thermal load, especially during 8K capture. Sony patents describe advanced graphite-based heat dissipation structures that channel warmth into the magnesium alloy chassis. The goal appears to be maximizing passive cooling without adding a bulky fan. Professionals cannot afford overheating during paid shoots. Unlimited 4K 60p and reliable 8K recording windows would be mandatory to justify a premium price. Ergonomics are unlikely to regress. The multi-angle 4-axis LCD introduced on the A7R V was widely praised and will almost certainly remain. The electronic viewfinder, however, could see refinement. Maintaining full resolution at high refresh rates during focus magnification would greatly enhance manual focusing precision. At 100 megapixels, even minor focus errors become glaringly obvious, so EVF clarity is critical. Storage presents another potential shift. Handling 100 megapixel RAW files at sustained burst rates requires enormous bandwidth. Current models support SD and CFexpress Type A. There are whispers about a transition to CFexpress Type B, which is faster and more common among competitors like Nikon and Canon. However, Sony pioneered Type A, so abandoning it would be a symbolic concession. More likely is a next-generation Type A standard with doubled speeds. Either way, upgrading memory cards may become unavoidable for buyers. Pricing will be delicate. The A7R V launched around $3,900. Inflation and technological advancements suggest the A7R VI could land between $4,200 and $4,500. That approaches the territory of high-performance competitors like the Nikon Z8. Sony must carefully position this camera to avoid cannibalizing the A1 while remaining competitive. Then there is the computational frontier. Smartphone photography revolutionized multi-frame processing. Sony could introduce professional-grade computational RAW, merging multiple exposures in camera to reduce noise and expand dynamic range without requiring a tripod. Handheld pixel shift that instantly generates 200-megapixel composite files would redefine landscape and architectural workflows. Eliminating cumbersome desktop processing could save professionals hours. Ultimately, the rumored Sony A7R VI represents a philosophical turning point. It is not just about more megapixels. It is about collapsing boundaries between full-frame and medium format, between stills and cinema, between hardware and artificial intelligence. It suggests a future where cameras anticipate moments, eliminate technical barriers, and deliver detail beyond human visual perception. Whether 100 megapixels becomes a practical necessity or remains an extravagant luxury will depend on individual workflows. For some, it may be a storage nightmare. For others, it is the ultimate safety net and creative playground. The real question is not whether this camera is overkill. It almost certainly is. The question is whether overkill, when executed perfectly, becomes the new standard. If Sony succeeds, the A7R VI may not just update the R line. It may redefine what full-frame cameras are capable of for the next decade.